Why Brawl Stars should stop adding legendary brawlers. There are currently 12 legendary brawlers, with Kenji going to be released soon, and there are more legendary brawlers than rare or super rare ones. For example, there are 8 rare brawlers, 10 super rare brawlers, and 12 legendary brawlers. Which is a bit weird considering that low rarity brawlers should be more than the high rarity brawlers, as they are easier to understand and unlock, which is the most important thing for the new players who need to understand the game first and get some time before starting to unlock legendary brawlers. Today, we'll see why it's not a good idea for the game to have so many legendary brawlers and how Supercell should fix this issue. So let's get right into it. First, we need to look at all rarities in the game and understand what each one of them mean. The lowest rarity is rare, and as we all know, in this rarity are all brawlers, which are easy to unlock and understand to play. And Supercell doesn't keep it a secret that the new players should have it more easy at the beginning, with unlocking brawlers and understanding the mechanic of the game. So the best way to do that is to make the rare brawlers one of the starting brawlers along with Shelly, since they only cost 160 credits to unlock and are very easy to understand and play from the perspective of a new player. Next, we have the super rare brawlers, which are very similar to the rare ones, and they're made exactly to help the players understand the progression and rarity system better, as the super rare brawlers are also quite easy to get, but they are a little bit harder to play and understand than the rare. And overall, the increasing of the rarities helps the player understand that there are a lot of brawlers in the game, and some of them require more time and skill to play than others. We continue with the epic rarity, which is right in the middle of all rarities, meaning that the brawlers are starting to get progressively harder to unlock and play, as there are brawlers like Piper, Nani, and others which need some time to learn how to play after you unlock them. The second highest rarity is Mythic, and the new players usually start to unlock Mythic brawlers after they have unlocked a few brawlers from the lower rarities and understand the game well. And this is the reason why they are harder to unlock than the epics and rares and require a lot of time to understand. And the highest rarity is, of course, legendary, which from the beginning of the game is considered as the best one. And we all know that legendary brawlers are one of the best in the game. And I'm sure that all of us were very hyped and happy when we got our first legendary brawler. But now when we get one, it just doesn't feel the same, as there are just so much of them. And especially when there is a new legendary brawler every 2 or 3 updates, which just kills the hype and makes the legendary rarity less valuable. With all that said comes the question, how did that happen? How from the best and most special rarity in the game, the legendary rarity became just like every other one, and why there are so many legendary brawlers. Well, there are a few things that led to this, and the first one is the removal of the chromatic brawlers. A few months ago, Supercell announced that with the rework of the Brawl Pass, they would remove the chroma credits, and with them the chromatic brawlers, meaning that all the chromatic brawlers would get new rarities according to how special and complicated they are. After this change, Surge and Cordelius became legendary brawlers, which of course annoyed some of the players, because this meant that it would be harder to unlock them as legendary than it was as chromatic, and also because this was a new, unexpected change, and nobody really expected that there will be 2 new legendary brawlers. Along with this change, Supercell also added 1 more legendary brawler kit, which to be honest was expected since there were no legendary brawlers for the year, and it was also Christmas, so it was logical that there would be brand new legendary brawlers. In May we also got Draco, another new legendary brawler which I'm sure was a surprise for the whole community, because as we all know, and Supercell had said many times, there is usually 1 legendary brawler per year, and it is most likely released at the end of every year as the legendary rarity is special. And they don't want there to be too many legendary brawlers, and also because everyone would be hyped once a year when a new legendary brawler is coming to the game, so surely releasing Draco in the middle of the year was really unexpected, especially when there was a new legendary brawler recently. And as everyone thought, it was over with the legendary brawlers for the year, or at least for the past few updates. We got another new legendary brawler this update, which is Kenji, which means that for less than a year we got 3 legendary brawlers. And considering that before we were getting only 1 per year, this is kind of ruining the rarity by adding so much legendary brawlers and making the feeling of getting them less special. As I mentioned earlier, there were too many legendary brawlers added in the last few updates, which of course is leading to some problems with the brawlers themselves, and also the whole legendary rarity. It's well known that Supercell wants the legendary brawlers to be original and exciting. And of course, this means that their mechanics should be different from the other rarity brawlers. And we can all agree that before the legendary brawlers were much more exciting to play. And we all wanted one since there weren't many at that time. And all of them had their special abilities and mechanics, and that's not the matter now, as some of the new legendary brawlers literally have the same mechanics and abilities like other brawlers, which just doesn't feel right. Considering that the legendary rarity is the highest in the game, meaning that the developers should spend more time on creating new interesting mechanics and abilities for the new brawlers. And I know it might sound easy, but it's actually not, because there are more than 80 brawlers in the game, and eventually Supercell would run out of ideas, which leads us to the point where they should go back to releasing 1 legendary brawler per year, just because they will have more time to think of cool ideas for new legendary brawlers, and this will bring the excitement of getting one back. The other problem with the legendary brawlers right now is that they are just too OP. And don't get me wrong, it's kind of cool when a brawler is very strong, especially when it's a legendary one, but if we see the new legendary brawlers which Supercell are releasing now, we can see that they are just so up to the point when it's actually unfair for the opponents, and they just can't do anything as it was with Kit and Draco. And as we saw on the new Brawl Talk, Kenji is also going to be very broken and will probably be meta until he gets nerfed, but it's too early to talk. Supercell can potentially fix that by making the legendary brawlers more balanced, and of course, make them a little bit more complicated to play, as some of the current legendary brawlers just require no skill to play, which shouldn't be the matter with them. And when it comes to balance changes, they should focus more exactly on the legendary brawlers, just to keep them balanced and of course, fun and exciting to play. Let me know what do you think in the comments about the situation with the legendary brawlers in the game, and if you think that there are too many of them, or they are enough. Also, write down in the comments how would you fix this issue. And don't forget to like and subscribe if you like the type of videos I make. I would really appreciate it. That's all for this video. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next one.